it doesn't hurt that bad. Shake it off. I find myself saying that quite a bit as a youth baseball coach when a boy gets hit by a ground ball or by a pitch when he's batting. The baseball isn't moving the slowest, but it also isn't moving the fastest. Shake it off. Keep playing. It's going to sting for a little bit, but then it'll be all right. It's not the worst thing that can happen. You might be told that if you come home and you're venting to your spouse and you're frustrated by them and you accidentally tell them something that is hurtful to them. And thankfully, they love you and they shake off what you said. That they think it wasn't the best what I heard, but it also wasn't the worst. They forgive you and keep moving on in love. You come home and you're frustrated about work. It's not fun what's going on, yet it's also not the worst. You can shake it off. It's not that bad. As we are continuing our discussions from Hebrew chapter 12, we are able to say with balance and resilience that as Christians, there's a lot that we can shake off. There's a lot that is in the category of not the best, but hey, far from the worst too. We are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, Christians who have already endured the ups and downs of life and gone to heaven. We are fixing our eyes on Jesus as we run our race of faith every minute of every day. And with that in mind, from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, we hear this encouragement from verses 3 and 4. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. Jesus certainly knew how to shake it off, didn't he? He was mocked, taunted. The words that were thrown at him were so hateful, and yet he shook it off and went to the cross, endured it without complaint. Jesus didn't just get hit by a baseball. He got hit by punches and fists and a flogger's whip, and yet he shook that off. It wasn't too hard for him to endure. He even shook it off when he was dared to come down from the cross. It's like they actually knew what would be the worst possible thing and dared him to do that. Come down from the cross if you're the Son of God. They shouted at him as they mocked him, and yet Jesus did not come down. He scorned that shame and endured it because he loved us. It's helpful for you when you're going through a less than perfect day or a difficult time to remember, hey, this isn't the best, but it's also far from the worst. I have not yet resisted to the point of shedding blood. I have not yet faced a problem that is eternal in nature because Jesus has solved the only problem that I had that was eternal in nature. The fact that I'm a sinner, having to stand in front of a holy God and have my eternal future weighing in the balance, Christ finished payment for all of that for eternity. That means that your biggest problem is solved. That means that your eternal future is bright. That means that every problem you're facing is temporary, just for a time, not long term. And that also means that you can have resilience as you keep that in perspective. That you can shake it off when something comes your way that is less than desirable. Because, hey, it's not the best, but it is far from the worst. Fix your eyes on Jesus and consider him who endured such opposition because he loved you. And remember, you have not faced the worst problem you could possibly face because Jesus already has in your place.